Happy Autotune anniversary.
Here we are. It's been 10 years since we uploaded the very first episodes of Autotune the News. So what better time to do a look back at the channel?
We got to go back in time from Very Thin Ice to Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife, and we'll just surprise ourselves. How much will we beam with pride, and how much will we cringe into an abyss?
I don't expect to live through this experience.
Yeah, it's a good way to go out.
Watching your own videos and then you die. Let's have some fun. I've never seen this one before. It still slaps.
Yeah. We should remaster to like boost the bass. It's so interlaced. It's so weird to see this. Like after this interview, Antoine was just like instantly iconic. This was between Autotune the News 10, or no, between 12 and 13.
This is between 12 and 13, yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't really have like Songify this yet, so it was kind of called Autotune.
We called it Autotune News 12 and a half.
Yeah, 12.5.
Yeah.
That last shot.
Yeah, me too.
So this was when we were like just starting to do the covers. We had just done the double rainbow cover, and we wanted YouTube was like such a community where everybody would like play other people's songs, and I think video replies also existed.
Yeah, I'm so glad I sat here and did this and gave people the opportunity to leave the video at this time. But the whole reason we put this in is because we saw that on our previous videos, like one of the main ways people were interacting with them is to cover them, especially in the early days of YouTube where everybody's uploading and video messaging each other and stuff like that. So the whole purpose of this was for us to like demo doing a cover basically, so that people would be excited to go like do their own version of the song.
We just did the song really quickly. The song slapped. We like did the cover, and we just uploaded it. And then we got in touch with Antoine.
And then we spent days calling Antoine and talking about let's go into business together basically.
I remember just seeing the interview and being amazed. Antoine and Kelly just took this like really like terrible thing. They flipped it. They like took the power, and like they had this. Just what they did, where they had this righteous anger, but they were also just taunting this guy and like being hilarious at the same time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people have trouble like splitting things into like, this is comedy, this is an angry speech. It cannot be two. They just did something that was solidly in between, where they were like hilariously angry, just like dropping catchphrases on this guy and making fun of him. I just thought it was like incredible what they did.
And they even did the interview in order to get the attention of like the local law enforcement that they felt like wasn't paying attention to what had happened to them.
Yeah, I remember like immediately again like getting in touch with Antoine. I think we did it through annotations, and I remember being like, oh man, like we got to get in touch with him because I don't want him to think that we're like cracking on him or something. Because at the time when we did Autotune the News, I feel like there was just this singular interpretation of this is auto-tuned, therefore this person is being roasted. And we did get in touch with him. We put out the song, like a full-length song, the next week, and it just kept being a runaway train. Hey, let's look at this Shamisen cover.
Well, I'll react to this. I'll react to this any day of the week. 2 million views on this cover. Mike Penny, this dude on the Shamisen, had actually been in one of our videos. 4 months prior to this, he appeared in Autotune the News number 11, where he was so amazing. We're like, hello, person covering our videos, come be in the video.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow. Mike Penny is one of those players that like you always remember how good he is, but then when you watch the video again, your mind is reblown.
Don't hurt him, Mike.
You already destroyed my mind. I was just getting it back together.
Don't hurt him too bad.
Reblew it. Woo. You reblew my mind.
What do you think about Obama wanting to cut down on nuclear weapons in the key of C? And go.
I just think that's very dangerous to have a fantasy foreign policy, and it can get you in enormous trouble.
What's wrong with fantasy? I like fantasy, and I live in the sea. We must rebalance this department's programs in order to institutionalize and
that little detail of the PBRs.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The formula here at the very first one was just like one-liner. They say something, we crack a dumb joke.
Totally.
The heads.
So big. And the clips, the little like.
Yeah, and how like now it's suddenly horizontal. But I love how Joe Biden is in the first one. It's so appropriate.
Totally. And Newt Gingrich.
Yeah.
Both of them.
They both became like famous unintentional singers. I like how your head is just glowing.
Yeah.
I had to call my friend to give me advice on that, like, punchline because I didn't know anything about college basketball. Thank you, Alan. Alan Peterson.
Yeah, you know you can never explain.
That's Evan's hands. That was like the last shot.
Oh, yeah, he just got back.
He literally had walked through the door, I think.
Yeah, he, like, flew in and...
Yeah.
So, yeah, the theme song is the chord progression of this episode, and we just kept it that way.
Interview. You like both of us asking questions,
at the
right?
same time.
Is it distracting?
I think he likes it. The double interview.
Yeah. Double. There are two.
Two.
2 times as
Same
good.
time.
10 times as good with 2 people. 3 people, including you.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. Here's the real.
So.
I don't know why the
man.
double interview just cracked me up.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, the real double interview.
I love, and that we have continued that into today, where there's like a little tiny postlude sketch, little mini sketch at the end.
Often there's
Which I really like.
whatever you call it, a moment of zen, a button.
I was gonna say the same thing about the sports segment too. I remember you being like, "Oh, what do you think about this line for the sports thing?" Because you're like, "It's so relevant. People are, it's important right now." And I was like, I don't know anything about sports either.
Yeah, and I never watched college basketball, so I was like totally in the dark about the teams.
Right.
But we did it.
But we did.
It's in the video.
It's in there. This is after the debate videos.
Yeah.
And I remember you being like, I want to do something because, debates only roll around every 4 years, and but the news is always here.
The news just keeps happening. It won't stop.
And lucky for me, both your brothers were out of town. So you were like, can you do this thing with me?
Yeah, I like the idea of like a model of like a show or whatever you call it, where you have special guests. It's just like the perfect thing for like a musical guest.
Right.
And you had the greatest voice, so I was like, okay, perfect first guest.
That sentiment, Michael, news is always happening. We really,
That-
at the beginning,
yeah,
watching the news number 3 and Evan's first appearance ever.
News. There is a lot of news, and it's happening.
Yeah, it was literally the first line. It just won't stop happening. We got really lucky that the second one like blew up.
Yeah,
I feel like
totally.
that's like the most unrealistic model ever. Like what you need to do is come up with something and then episode 2 will do well or whatever. Just follow this model.
I don't know. Everybody knows the pilot is always the worst show. Not
Yeah,
always,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Why am I?
Why were you wearing a mustache?
Was I wearing a mustache?
The model was to like do this like show with like musical guests, and I feel like we ended up like actually doing it. Like, in the end we started
Yeah.
like having guests in a lot of the
Totally.
episodes. Every once in a while we'll have somebody like Weezer was in 13. That was like one of the first times we
Pretty
did
awesome.
that. And so, yeah,
Darren and Joe and
TPain, too many people to thank, but
Truly.
we owe the like show's fun and whimsy in large part to people who have come through and guessed it.
So, at Michael's suggestion, we're watching Autotune the News number 4,
Great.
which is a video that apparently I'm in. That just yesterday, Evan and I agreed I was
you
not.
were not in.
I'm very excited. Very excited to watch it.
Apparently, it's a very
I
memorable
forgot that I was in.
experience for you.
Yes.
We're so tragic you blocked it out.
Here we go.
What do you expect from the next Supreme Court
Morning,
justice?
Joe.
What does President Obama need
Oh.
to do?
No, it's absolutely clear. There's no question about it. There's no question about this question. And what President Obama needs
Classic
to do
shades, classic hat from Michael.
for the American people and by the American people.
Cutting edge shoulder technology there on Morning Joe.
This is amazing punditry here. Oh, this is good. I forgot about this one.
On the Supreme Court, doesn't seem right to me.
The breakfast with sausage and eggs is just-
Was that your hands coming up with Michael?
Oh, I don't know. Good question. Oh,
Who's like behind
he's like
Michael?
behind him.
That's probably you
Probably.
holding up his hands. Your head is just behind him.
Yep.
It's because we didn't think to do it in 2 takes. It's just
No.
1 take.
But mostly the Serbians.
I mean, the cojones on Joe Biden to be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to a foreign nation and just tell them at a banquet that I'm speaking at that they're war criminals. I'm going to go to the country and be like, hey, you guys haven't admitted you're war criminals yet. You guys really need to do that.
Wait, is this our first throw up
Yeah,
shot?
probably.
We've had many
That's
now.
like a mashed banana, I think. At this point, we were like really leaning more and more into the romance between me and Katie
Right,
Koo.
of course.
I was bringing her flowers.
The levels of lead in the soil. The tests are inexpensive and some local health.
There's like a cut right there in the middle of my take. Like really, this is like a going character for me because I'm wearing like the exact same shirt, the exact same jacket as I'm wearing in Autotune the News, which is my first appearance.
We were like, will you do it? Are you gonna do this? He's gonna do it. Also, I remember thinking Katie Couric was just baiting us with all of her nursery rhyme references in her notebook.
There was like rhyming, a lot of rhyming in her notebook.
Totally.
This scene I think is really great because it's one of the first times we dived into like the dumbness of the bureaucracy of Congress.
Yes.
I'm not sure we'd ever done that before.
No.
Like using C-SPAN footage of just going into like a dumb committee instead of like a news report.
Yeah. Oh.
Gorilla cries. Who's gonna be there to dry his eyes? And when an angry gorilla's depressed, who's gonna heal him with a soft caress? Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, the tears are rolling down my cheeks. Ooh, ooh, ah, liquid sorrow my eyes excrete.
And I'm a soldier, but a soldier's got feelings. Don't know who to turn my anger to. I'm confused.
That shot always kills me.
Oh man,
under his
glasses. I love the Angry Gorilla's Lament.
To me, it's one of my favorite moments ever where you're diving deep into the mind of one of our more... Like, we have a lot of characters that are like, oh, in Congress, they're wearing glasses, but you don't really know a lot about them. You know the Angry Gorilla is angry, and you get to go deep into his mind. I really love the...
You got, yeah, you, I think before then you got snippets. What's the very first time Angry Gorilla's featured? What, is it 2 or 3?
It's 2.
He's wearing the necktie and he's standing up.
Yeah.
I forget what he's angry about.
I mean, honestly, the only time I can think of another character going as deep into their mind is at the GOP convention in 2016 when we finally get a little bit behind the curtain with Senator Bolverk from South Dakota, our Norwegian senator.
Right.
And you find out that he's like a raging homophobic white nationalist. So it's just like, that honestly, Bolverk hasn't been in a lot of videos since 2016. Now we know that about him, and this is really embarrassing for us to...
It's tricky.
Have him around the office.
It'd be nice to check in with the Angry Gorilla.
Yeah.
See what's going on with him.
Yeah.
He might be angry about some things.
First is Songify the News, number 11. As far as I know, the first video of ours that Rose is ever in.
Rose, can you say hi, Andrew, and then clap your hands once? Or just clap your hands. You don't have to say anything.
But clap them in front of your face.
It's gonna be made of concrete, and it's gonna go 90 feet. If you're 90 feet up, you don't wanna come down.
To this day, this is one of the melodies that gets stuck in my head the most.
We get the drugs, and they get the cash. You know,
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
We don't either.
This guy wearing the bunny ears, that's actually Uncle Michael right there.
Who's that?
That's you.
No way.
Yes, wait.
My nails look great.
These lyrics really seem prescient.
Whoa.
Oh. This part's about a fish. Who is that?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
I look really worried. I'm worried about this fish.
I just sound like Angie.
Andrew's there.
And Mommy.
What are we doing?
Songify the news.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Holy
minute.
moly.
Look down there at the bottom.
Who's that?
Me.
You know who it is? It's Baby Rose.
What do you think Baby Rose is thinking right now?
Who are all these people?
Asparagus.
All done. 2015, bye-bye. Bye-bye. 2015, bye-bye.
That's my favorite part when Baby Rose says bye-bye.
Bye-bye?
Yeah.
And do that again.
Were you scared of the fish like that lady was?
Well, it was actually a people face.
It was a people face fish.
There was a person's face on that fish at one point. You're right.
Rose's reaction to that was really funny.
What'd she do?
Her face. We'll have to play a replay.
Were you afraid of the fish, Rose?
No.
Would you want to eat that fish?
No.
Do you want to pet it? Do you want to snuggle with it?
No.
You want to play hopscotch with it?
This investment in advanced battery technology for electric drive automobiles.
We're losing men out there. Permission to use the secret weapon, sir.
The Federal Commission of TPain approves.
Oh man, so exciting when we found out we were going to get to do this with TPain.
Thrill of a lifetime.
Just like in 2009, what could be more exciting? When you're making a series called Autotune the News that's only 6 months old.
This had only existed for a few months, and Senpai noticed us.
Maybe. He'd already noticed within 4 months and shot this.
Yeah.
In a parking lot.
Yeah, he shot his part, granted, while he was like shopping for groceries. I mean, it was like most important thing we'd done that month.
I'm holding a Modelo.
You're holding a Mexican beer.
Yeah. Now, one thing here, this shot here with the guy dancing in the sweater.
Yeah.
I think this is the first video we use this in, and he's probably been in maybe as many as 20 of our videos. We just
Agreed.
Love that guy, even though he's like 240p. I do think that we were particularly attracted to the Michael Vick story because Evan and Michael and I grew up in the shadow of Virginia Tech University and were there when Michael Vick was a star.
And we blatantly just wanted to use Scott Van Pelt because we knew he was a fan.
Right.
Just pandering to him.
I don't know why I decided to button up my shirt on this one. Get a little fancier for Maggie Rodriguez. I think we were kind of bummed that Katie Couric wasn't doing this, but at the same time, it's an opportunity to introduce me to another.
Yeah, we played with that dynamic.
Michael's dance back there. He's so straight-faced.
Oh, look at this sick chart. It's the top 10 chart.
Is this the first time we see Bulver, Kevin?
I think maybe so, because we saw this like medieval stuff. We came up with this idea that this sort of medieval-ish Viking could appear.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a personality here.
Well, he has a major part in the next episode at number 9.
Then hire a focus group and have a human sacrifice.
Wow, I honestly forgot that we got him to do the
We
very
brought it
nice.
back around to the hook. And as I recall, when T-Pain sent us his phone video, he had sung it perfectly in key with no accompaniment. He just knew it.
Is this the first time we kind of did like a fugue at the end where like a bunch of things came together?
Yes, this is the first ever time we brought in all these
this is a
different
good
motifs.
episode. Michael and I were really going through like a mid-2000s phase where we would get really long hair, and whenever we cut it, it's like, well, gotta have a mullet for 1 or 2 days. You know, you got an opportunity to walk around with a mullet.
You might as well.
Yeah. Oh man, there's a lot going on in that episode. Sweater Guy, amazing that it is his first appearance. Amazing that it's Bulwark's first appearance. When you're the first fugue.
This early in the series, we were taking everything as sort of a precedent that was being set, and it would have repercussions for things we would do in future episodes. That happened in every one of these first 8 to 9 episodes. We were just like creating something that then we would draw upon for years to come.
But also trying to like level up a little bit, try to be like, let's make this one a little bit better.
Yeah, like this is the first time we ever did this sort of fugue at the end where we bring all the different motifs together into a melody.
Boxes are dropping, which we must have had like 40 layers stacked in Final Cut to do that. Like we had no idea how to do that, so we were like doing it in a very inefficient way.
Yeah, really hard for us at the time. And we introduced some characters here like Senator Bulwark and stuff like that. Junkie Einstein is already like an old character at this point in his appearance.
And it's also probably how I was introduced in real life to Senator Chuck Grassley, who now to me is just like one of the most hilarious senators from Iowa, who's just like constantly tweeting about like how his corn is growing.
Mm-hmm.
He has, in my opinion, the best tweet of all time that's just the letter N, or that other tweet about how like dear dead, covered in blood, left on road. It's just like, what are you talking about, Chuck Grassley?
And he loves to tweet about the History Channel and be mad that they don't show enough history.
Yes, he's furious about the History Channel, or as he calls it, the No History Channel.
That's a sick burn.
It is if you're 85 years old.
Yeah, exactly, like him.
Oh, man.
Welcome to the series, Chuck Grassley.
Another thing that was really big for us with TPain is I remember that for us, not only were we really excited that TPain noticed us, but we were really amazed and pleased that TPain sent us his audio totally raw. It was just a phone video that they shot. And we were kind of amazed, like, whoa, this is a good phone video. It was like right when iPhones came out. But it was like, I think his manager even said like in an email or something like, he trusted you guys to auto-tune it.
It was a great display of trust that he did not do his own auto-tuning. He knew we could do it.
And it's like, if that's his signature sound and he's trusting us to do the auto-tuning, like,
yeah, he's like,
wow.
These guys are legit.